So let's talk about end of the season awards. MVP. Who do I got for MVP? First off, who do you guys have for MVP? Jokic or Embiid? They are now tied for, according to, I don't know where they get this information from, which kind of makes me question a lot of things, but they're saying they're tied right now for the favorites. And it comes right after a game where Embiid did not play against Jokic. And it's crazy because these games actually determine something. Actually, you know, most of the time it's fans just talking. Oh, he's ducking smoke. He don't want to play him. He's scared. And then it's nothing. But it's crazy because that's actually impacting votes. There are some people with votes like Kendrick Perkins, I think Charles Barkley, people like that, the media that have votes for MVP. And you know this means something to them. You know this means something to them. The fact that Joel Embiid did not play, and then all of a sudden, some people were saying Jokic is the favorite just because he didn't play a game. He could have been hurt. Shows that there are going to be some biases in the voting. Now it's going to be the narratives. And maybe people are right. The MVP, honestly, I don't really like it. It's fun, I guess. But I don't really like how it is. It's not really what they say it is. It's not really the most valuable player. It's the best storyline. That's all it is. What's the best storyline? You guys got to remember the NBA is an entertainment business. It's the best storyline. Who's going to have the best storyline? I think Embiid has the best chance, but he also has the route where he could destroy himself. Jokic is going to win depending on what Embiid does. If Jokic is going to win, it's going to be because of Embiid's last 7 games, how he finishes out the season. Because there was a note today that there's only been one player in NBA history to miss 14 or more games and win MVP. And that was Bill Walton in like 1972. I could be wrong on the year. Probably wrong on the year. Embiid has missed 14 games. He's missed the most games for a MVP. Damn, CJ running over DiVincenzo. Pretty much they're saying that Embiid has missed a lot of games and he might not get MVP because of it. Jokic has been playing a lot of games. And then I just look at, is that fair? Can missing games actually help your case for MVP? That's something you could think about. If you miss a game and your team loses, doesn't that prove that you are the most valuable player on your team? And I hate this. I hate what I'm about to say. I hate how people say Jokic should win MVP because the rest of his team isn't as good. Or Embiid should win MVP because the rest of his team isn't good. That's really where we're getting at when we talk about MVP. Jokic won MVP last year as a 6th seed. They said because he didn't have Jamal Murray. He didn't have Michael Porter Jr. And they made the playoffs because Jokic took them there. And I'm not mad at that he won MVP last year. I agree he should have won MVP last year and the year before. This year, he gets Jamal Murray back. He gets Michael Porter Jr. back. And they are now the number 1 seed. So it shows that people were right from last year that they're a much worse team when those people are not playing, and Jokic still carried them. Now, the 76ers didn't have the highest seed last year. I don't think it was because of injuries or anything like that. This year they have a higher seed. And people want to bring up, I think Jokic deserves MVP because they don't have as good of a team as Embiid has. Embiid has James Harden. Jokic only has Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. But This is what I don't like about the conversation. That has nothing to do with Jokic, the player himself, or Embiid, the player himself. I understand team success, but what are we doing here? If we're talking about this, then we should keep that same energy when we're talking about Joel Embiid has missed 14 games. And in those 14 games, I don't know how many they lost. They lost 8 games. Doesn't that prove that if we're going by the same logic, that Embiid is valuable to his team? He's the most valuable player. So I don't think we should judge it off that. You know, when I say judge it off that, Embiid's missed 14 games, I think he's definitely, I don't think that should matter. Another reason why it shouldn't matter is because that's just his play style. He's going to get hurt. You look at that Warriors game. He tired himself out dropping 44 just to lose in the fourth quarter. He's gassed because he has no James Harden to, help him out with some of the help. Now, Jokic, even when he doesn't have help, he don't got Jamal Murray playing or anything like that. His play style isn't as aggressive as Embiid. His play style doesn't use as much energy as Embiid's. Therefore, he's not going to miss as much games. Now, does that mean that that's saying something and that makes him a better player because he doesn't miss as much games? I don't know. All I'm saying is I don't think that should be a reason why Embiid shouldn't win MVP because he's missed 14 games. And I think that's where some people are trying to get to because he missed that Jokic game. And I don't think you can judge the entire season based off one game, although that was a bad look for Joel Embiid. I think it's obvious what he was doing. And he's ducking Jokic because it can make his case look bad. He's the one that wants it more. He's the one that's openly going after it. Literally saying, after the Warriors game, I had to show him what I could do. They lost. He don't even care about winning right now. He cares about the MVP. All right. I don't think I've ever seen a player be this open about winning an MVP as Embiid. But I don't think that should matter. Exactly. I don't think that should matter. None of those narratives should matter, but they do. And that's the problem with the MVP award. I think it should matter who deserves MVP this season. Based on their play. Nothing outside of that. Who deserves MVP this season based on their play? Jokic is averaging 25 points a game, 9.9 rebounds, 9.9 assists, 10 rebounds, almost a triple-double. Embiid's leading the league in points, 33 points a game. I think 10 rebounds a game, 4 assists, a block or 2 blocks a game. Jokic averaging 0.9 blocks a game. So then we go off stats and we're like, which one looks better? How do you judge MVP? I'm happy I don't vote for this. I'm really happy I don't have to vote for this because there's so many decisions that go into it. It's not consistent every single year. And I think I heard recently that a player in the NBA was saying that's why he doesn't understand it or like the award in general is because there's no consistency to it. One year they won because of this. And then the next year, Klay just got his ankles broken. The next year, they don't use that same criteria. They switch it up based on who they want to win, and it's just biasy. And it's definitely, listen, who's going to win the MVP award is based on Twitter. That's all it is. That's all it is. Who's going to win the MVP award is based on social media. And right now, Embiid was the favorite just a couple days ago. Then he missed that game due to injury or load management. Now, Jokic is the favorite. So, I can't even predict what's going to happen in the last 7 games. I think Embiid is going to win it because he wants it more and he's going to be doing something stupid or crazy out these last 7 games. He's going to get it. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Defense Player of the Year.